All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, November 30th, 2021. This is the morning brew, and there's a lot going down, So the markets had a little pullback overnight, and we're going to dive into it. So let me share some news here, information here with you guys. 1 second. Desktop 2. We got it. Here's a share button, and we are good to go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, November 30th. This is what we got going. So right off the bat, so just realized that we do have the Fed Chairman Powell is speaking today, and he spoke yesterday. He's speaking a lot this week. We have a lot of Fed chairmen speaking, so we are going to see more volatility going into the marketplace, as I said yesterday. So we have a lot of things going into this week. We also have the XPX roll week, which always tends to make things a little bit more volatile. So stay on your toes. I am seeing weakness across the market. I'm going to jump into that in a little bit. But let's dive in. So just off the bat, we caught the virus news. As far as the Omicron news, we saw that because that just came out of left field, but we caught it developing. As you can tell, is that a concern? I know when COVID first hit, Kramer and all the people on TV said that there was no worry, that it will be taken care of. So we're roughly around, we're roughly around 10-day mark. But wow, we're good. All right. So roughly around that 10-day mark. Is it going to happen this time? Possibly. And I'm going to show you what to look for. All right. So Fed Chairman Powell spoke yesterday, and he seems a little concerned. So it's a different demeanor than what he spoke about in the past. And he seems like he really is concerned about this inflation, right? He's getting hammered. And if you observe him before, he said it was transitory. Now he's kind of singing a different tune. Wow. He said something that he said he believes inflation is going to stay with us longer than expected. So I think the market doesn't know what that means. So we're reacting a little bit differently today. We saw the futures drop around 10, 11 o'clock last night. Then it dropped at midnight, pretty severe on no news. So something we're going to be concerned about. So we got that. What else do we have? Omni-variant could boost global growth, according to Goldman Sachs. So there's a lot of news here. Twitter stepped down. So let's dive into it. But this is the news that I'm watching. I'm seeing how it develops and see if that is going to pick up steam. Okay. So again, but let's dive in. Oh, this is the XPX roll week. This is something that if you are trading XPX, if you're doing condors or whatever that you're doing, I had a conversation with a friend earlier today about he's a condor trader. But this is something you want to be concerned about. If you are, this roll week happens where it is going to cause a lot of volatility in the XPX. And so you want to be concerned at this date, roll dates on the XPX futures. And the one that was coming up is December 17th, or this starts the 9th. And it'll go to the 17th. And this is where traders will roll out of their XPX contracts and roll into the next quarter. So it happens every quarter, and there'll be a lot of volatility going into this. So that we're upon that. So that's probably going to happen as well. Okay, so let's dive into this. Where am I here? Okay, so we have that financial news. Let's go in. So what do we do here? The morning brew, we're a day trading system, but we always like to look at the overall markets in the daily to make sure that we know exactly where we're at this moment of time. So the XPX, NDX, and Russell, RUT. So again, this is something I talked about yesterday, right? So we have potentially a head and shoulders pattern after a long run. Now, why is this concerning? Because, well, a couple of things. We know that the Fed's talked about that they will stop buying mortgage-backed securities, right? At some moment, they're going to stop the taper, and they plan on doing it because they've been holding up the market for, I think, until next year. Also, doesn't mean that they're going to raise interest rates. I don't think they can, depending on where we're at this moment. We also have unemployment numbers coming out on Friday. So is that going to be a plus for the markets? Unsure. And the way Powell is speaking is kind of suggesting that he's really not sure, and the market doesn't like unknowns. So what does this look like? So again, if this is a head and shoulders pattern, we are currently in the head part, and we're going to develop so think of the shoulders, right? We're going to develop another neckline, and the other neckline could come back down to basically there, 4,300 possibly. Now, don't worry. There's a couple of ways that we can get down there. We have to take out this 4,550, which is huge. But if we take that out, then more than likely we're probably going to go down to, 4,550. We're probably going to go down to a couple levels of 44.68. The 50 days right there. Now, keep in mind that we also have the 200-day moving average right at that 40, just under 4,300. So again, MACDs are showing me weakness, right? This is not going up. Remember, I told you, if you've been following me for day trading system, don't buy calls, and the MACDs are going what? Go down. We don't buy calls. You can actually sell calls if you want, but don't buy calls. Okay, kind of words to live by. And that's on this time frame. So this is what I'm looking at. This is concerning to me. Where are we going to open up today? And I was looking at the futures, and this is what I was talking about today, right? So Tuesday, this was 12. This is 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we dropped 46.60. 46.70 was pretty hard, and futures we dropped. And then right at midnight, we dropped severely, right? So today, what are we going to be looking at? Here's a 4 o'clock hour. This is the 46.04. If we break below that, we're probably going to head lower. So, but 46.05 currently on the futures. We close at 46.50, 53. That puts us right around 46.20, maybe 46.10. So we're going to open up there. Okay. So again, that's going to put us roughly right at Friday's close. Okay, so that means we're going to, now the other thing which I've noticed too, and these are the patterns that you have to train yourself. We see these patterns all the time in when you trade 15 minutes. That's why I trade 15 minutes, because you can see the patterns over and over very much quickly. But at the end of a swing, you'll notice that it goes up and then it comes back down. And then this is usually FOMO buyers, right? And we don't like to see FOMO buyers. And again, what do? We see this rolling down. Don't get caught in this. Okay. Now this is a longer time frame. We see these patterns develop all the time if you're trading 15 minutes. But again, I'm just noticing that this is probably going to go lower. I think we have a date with the 50-day moving average at least, which is 45.30, 45.50. Kind of suspecting that just with all the news that's coming out and the XPX roll week that's upon us. And retail sales have been kind of dismal, right? I mean, I'm getting some, I don't know how accurate this is. Shopify came out with 6.3 billion, 23% increase on online sales. But again, the information is starting to roll in. Isn't enough to hold the markets up? And we're going to dive into that. All right. So we're expecting a pullback right here. On the NDX, what do we expect? Now, NDX, something is holding. So I'm going to go back to the VIX and show you how this right here, the Treasury note is coming down. So this is very positive for tech. This is meaning that the notes are coming down. The yields are coming down. That means that interest rates are low, very favorable to any, upstart companies or startups or tech, right? Now the VIX is going down. So the VIX actually climbed up yesterday on that fear. So we are going to see some volatility going into this week, probably into XPX roll week. Now it doesn't mean we're going to go up, right? So this is what I mean. So now you have the VIX, you have the MACD pulling back on the XPX, you have options become super, super expensive. So if you have any equities or anything, maybe it's a good time to actually sell some equities to leverage your position, right? And again, we don't want to be, again, calls are going to be super expensive. Good time to sell premium. Okay, so is this going to pick up steam? If we break below 25.71, then we're probably going to get in the level that we were yesterday, and we're probably going to stay in that range of 46.70. But if we start breaking higher, then we're probably going to go lower. Okay, so that's how we're reading it. Let's go back to here. So again, this is why the Nasdaq is much stronger than the XPX, because that's holding up now. But if this starts declining, then that means the overall market is going to go down. Now, Russell, again, Interest rates are not good for the Russell, as you can tell. Some, it was sold off pretty severe. Like I said, Russell was in this range prior to this, in this range of 2120 and 2353. So it looks like it's going to probably fall back into that range. Okay. So again, just dissecting what the Russell is doing. And I'm not really seeing anything explosive. Now, mind you, here's the thing: no doom and gloom. We had an extensive rally, right? Is pulling back. Now, here's the thing: how low is it going to go? So again, are they buying the dips? Is this a bounce? I don't think it's a bounce yet. Again, it's too early. But I was observing the market yesterday, and 4670 was an area that it was being sold off in. Okay, so again, that's levels that we didn't really get that conviction by, and especially with Powell speaking. All right, so we did have some movers this week. So are you ready? Let's dive in. So let's go into what we do. Now we're going to go into the day trading system and see where the opportunities lie, either up or down in the marketplace. So we gave you a stance. Now we're going to dive in and let's go. Let's do it. All right. So here we go. XPX is right here. Again, as you can tell, which way is the 50-day moving average going down? It's going down. So what are we looking at? And if we look at the overall markets, and if I go here, and I told you yesterday that on the hourlies, on the XPX, when we're below the 50, I'm going to be thinking bearish, right? Unless you want to take trades to the 50, but as you can tell on the XPX, we have 4670. And what does this look like? Like we hit it, boom, and we're going down, and looks like what? We're probably going to go lower. So again, not until we break that 50-day moving average, which is 4685, then I'm going to start thinking bullish. But if we're below it, then we're thinking what? Bearish on pretty much every trade that I'm looking at. Now, if I zoom in here, the 50 days telling me what? Bearish. We have some highs that we couldn't break. That 4670 was pretty strong, 4675, and we're going to open up lower. So what does that mean? We're probably going to open around this 4620, which is the lows that we were yesterday, maybe, and the lows of Friday was 4588. So we're going to watch that. Now, let's see, it's going to open up lower, and let's see where it goes. Like at that moment in time, we'll know real quickly in the first 5 minutes. Nasdaq, again, try to break through, much stronger because of the yield. But again, what is happening here? So can it regain? Can it hold that 50-day moving average? Can it bounce? Can the MACD stay above zero? Then in a short period of time frame for the day, that looks like we could be maybe positive bullish, maybe for the first morning session, or not. We'll figure it out. Now, Russell, week is going lower and has been low for quite some time. So again, if we're going to trade with the trend, right? The trend is your friend into the end. If you're looking at the 15-minute time frame, we're not seeing reversal patterns, then we want to trade Russell where? To the downside until it stops. And how do we know we stops? We start looking for bear traps until it stops. Now, what are the bear traps? The bear traps are going to be key levels that we're going to be looking at. On the Russell, we're looking at 2282 to see if it's going to go higher. Right now, it's not. And right now, it looks like it's probably going to go lower. Remember, I showed you on the indexes that it's probably going to stay in that range. Has a lot more room to go. So that could be a trade to the downside that you might want to take advantage of. Google rallied up yesterday really well. This was an entry yesterday for a day trade, right? However, we saw these levels, and again, 29.24 hit that, couldn't break above that. Now it's back. It pulled back quite a bit. What's going to happen here? This could be setting up. Now, if the Nasdaq starts rallying, then this could be good for Google, and Google could be bouncing off zero here, but a MACD, which bounces off zero, bouncing off the 50-day at 28.96, and it could maybe rally. Now, what's it going to get going right there? What is it going to get it going? It's going to be 29.25. So if it breaks that, it's got 29.36, and then after that, it's got 29.93, just under 3,000. So again, we're going to be watching that. That could be an opportunity. However, if it breaks down, that means that the whole market is going to decline. Remember, Google's one of the strongest ones, and it can probably go down to 28.35. And yeah, so we'll watch that. We'll watch Google to see if it's going to start rallying. I have my alert up there. Let's see if it gets it going. Amazon came out. So Shopify came out with good numbers on Black Friday. What does that mean? How's the market going to take that? So let's see. Amazon, Shopify will help Amazon. Those numbers are real. I'm not sure. It has not confirmed. But let's see. It's got 35.96 on the upside. And let's see how it rallies. Let's see if it can regain that 50-day moving average, which is around 35.66. MACDs are below zero, but anything can happen in the next 45 minutes. So we'll see. But right now, as we stand, it's just holding. And I think it's in a holding pattern. Okay. So these are just, remember, guys, these are not long-term trades. These are trades that we're probably going to take today. If you're not a day trader, that's fine. But if you want to learn these patterns that we see on the dailies, we'll see them over and over again here, over and over again, which will help you train your eyes and help develop you see in the longer term time frame that you want to trade in. So now, Tesla. Interesting thing about Tesla. The whole market's going down, and Elon is not going down, it's pulling back. But Elon is selling his shares of Tesla, and Tesla is going up. That's interesting, right? So we'll find out today when he does his filing, how much of Tesla shares has he sold and where exactly is he at. I think last time I checked, he was about 50% done of his 25 billion, I believe. So we'll see how it reacts, but Tesla's looks pretty good. Can Tesla run today? Yeah, it bounced beautifully here. The levels we're going to be looking at Tesla is right there. It's 1144 to really get it going. If it can regain that 50, I'm going to see if I can make this nice. Okay, if we can regain that 50 around 1133, take out that 1144, the MACD start turning, then what do we have on top? We have a big number on top. We have that 1180. Okay, 1180. So that may be a potential to see. Remember, Tesla kind of works against what the market does, as long as we're not in creator mode. Okay, but that might be an opportunity there. Let's see if they turn on the bots to start working that magic. ISRG, they're taking it down again. So this is all assumption of what they're taking. They've taken this down. So we're not going to be looking at ISRG for the upside. We're going to be looking at 341 to really get it going. But again, it just, let's see what happens. I like this basing pattern here. Is it a basing pattern? Remember, the overall market does need to turn. And so we'll see. We'll see. Chipotle, they've been taking this one down, right? We've been watching us. They're taking this one down. There's no clear signs of reversal here, right? It tried to rally a couple of days ago, but again, thank God we had those alerts. And again, and the alert is going to be 1717, and there's also one here at 1700. But right now it's at 1672 and working his way lower. So again, this might be an opportunity. Keep trading. The trend is your friend until the end. Just keep it going. You use a 50-day moving average to keep trading to the downside, as I was telling you yesterday, and I told you last week. All right, let's dive in. Lamb Research. Lamb Research is in the conference today. So we'll see what Lamb Research does. Are they going to guide up? There's some news that coming out of Lamb Research. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But last year, Research was a winner. Yes, they rallied up quite nicely, 686. It looks like it's going to give it back. Can it continue? So don't chase, let it base, let it come back to the 50. And if it's going to continue, it will continue. The MACDs will come down to zero, start bouncing off the 50, take out previous day's highs of 683, and it could continue running. But not until that happens are we going to be looking at that. But it ran quite a bit yesterday from 650 to 686. That's 30 points. At some moment, people are going to be locking in some profits. So let it pull back, and there'll be another run. Remember, the trend is your friend until the end. This one is on the opposite side. So if you look and zoom out, you see the trend. So that's what we use a 50-day moving average to continue the trends. Okay, but right now it's pulling back. Now, Shopify, are these numbers real? It looks like it's real. They're buying into it. So how do we know it's real, right? Shopify could be setting up. So if that news is real, it's going to take out 1585 really, really quick. And it's bouncing right there. It's bouncing off the 50. It could be bouncing off the MACD and can be another swing higher. It does need to take out that 1585. Now, what's on top is going to be, a couple levels here, 1614, and then we got 1642, and then we got 1661. So watch those levels. If it's real, it could run. It's probably going to help Amazon too. So right now, it looks like it's real, right? So again, don't trust anything anybody says. Let the price action tell you if it's true or not. Right now, I'm seeing that investors are being optimistic about that, but anything can happen before 8:30 or 9:30. Netflix, again, this is the pattern of Netflix zooming out, and you can tell we're at the bottom range of Netflix. So what does that mean? Netflix, they took it down, took it up. It's in the range. Can it go higher? So let's see if it can take out that 668, bouncing off the 50. Don't really like that pre-market so much. Let it pull back. It's kind of overextended, but it can probably go to 677. Not ideal entry for the way we like to trade. We like to high probability trades. Roku, they took it down. They took it down. Remember, Black Friday, these guys are supposed to do well, but they're taking it down. So again, not really any conviction buying here. Remember, there's some headwinds here. I would say 238 to really get it going. But there's really just not really a clear play here. But again, just watch it. Nvidia, Nvidia, they're coming out. So, if LRCX comes out of that conference saying some positive things about the chips, I think that's going to take all the chips higher. Now, we'll see. Nvidia, great earnings, great guidance. They're doing their own metaverse called the Omniverse. Is it going to get it going? It's right there, right? Something positive could happen. There is some selling pressure pre-market at 333. If it can take that out, regain that 50 at 332, take out 333, which is 334, right in that range, it could probably, MACD start rolling up. It can probably start going higher, right? And continue this trend higher. Or are they going to sell it and lock in gains? On the down bottom side, you got 320. You're right there. So you got 331 to 320. You're right there. Which way is the MACD? Which way is the momentum going to tell us we're going? Remember, MACD is a measurement of momentum. So we're right starting out in that momentum play. Mercado Libre is the Amazon of South America. They're taking it down. So you tell me, what do you think sales are doing in South America? Maybe it's the dollar move. The dollar's weak. I don't know. Supply chain issues. But people are not buying Mercado Libre, this was a beautiful, beautiful stock, but it's just not going up. So again, what's going to get it better? 1292 now. But again, the trend is your friend until the end. Where do you want to trade this thing? You probably want to trade it to the downside, bouncing off the 50. So these are where the opportunities lie. I know a lot of you don't like trading to the downside, but hey, if that's where the opportunities are, that's where they are. So right now, we're let it come back to the 50. We're not ideal. We want to come back to the 50, moving back off zero. Okay, Apple. This is Apple. Apple rallied really, really nicely, and now it's taking a little bit of a rest. Can it resume? Now, we told you 160 right there. That 162 is going to really get it going. 162. So can Apple resume? Now, why do we have Apple here? Remember, if Apple is up, then the XPX is not going to crater. If Goldman Sachs is up, the XPX is not going to crater. So we've seen some buying action coming off that 158. Can it regain the 50? We'll see. If it can get beyond that 160 level, get 162, it could get really going. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, Trade Desk. Trade Desk is right there. It tried to go yesterday. It's holding that 106. I think it's probably going to go. Maybe is setting up. Don't like it below the zero. If you can regain that 50 at 106 and take out that 108, it can probably go. But again, we're at the mercy of what LRCX is coming out. Now, Trade Desk is an advertisement play. So these guys are in the advertising play. All right. Let's go in. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Goldman Sachs. All right. Goldman Sachs rally lower and it's coming higher. So let's see how it reacts to that 50-day moving average at 385. MACDs are lower. It looks like it's probably the swing is over. It's probably going to go higher. Again, watch 385. And which way is it going? Is going down. Okay, so watch right there. That may be opportunity to the downside. Affirm layaway plans. Again, try to rally. Black Friday could not go. Yesterday sold off pretty hard. We got 141 to really get it going, but it's which way is it going? Again, the 50-day moving average is telling me it's probably going to go lower. And if it takes out 128, it's probably going to go to 120 and lower. Okay. Upstart trying to go. Again, there is a possibility it's holding stronger, but again, we're below that 50. Can it regain that 50? And we need some positive news coming into the marketplace for this thing to get going, you know. So again, everything I'm telling you, and if this Omicron starts picking up because it came out of left field, we probably want to be cautious right now, cautious to the upside. Okay. So again, now Hubspot, this thing took off, right? We called this the last couple of days. We've been calling the rally. Now this is going up. So pre-market is going up. Let it pull back. We like it closer to the 50. And again, trade the trend until it's the end. So let it pull back to the 50, bounce, and then we'll get going. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Kind of like pre-market looking good. Hit that 50. Again, if this variant is going to pick up steam, then Zoom is probably going to be a play to the upside. So again, watch it bounce off the 50, bounce off of here, and then it could probably go higher. It's got 237 on top. All right, which is right there. Bookings, again, travel stock got hammered. And I can tell you this, you know, we saw this. We were trying to set this up to the upside. We never got alerted. Again, you know, above zero, but it needs 222.36 to really get it going. Or is it going to go lower? It looks like it's probably going to open up lower. And if you want to trade it to the downside, again, 50, 0, downs lower, 21.37 to really get it going. And then we have 2100. All right, service now. Again, you know, working his way higher the last couple of days. Good trading session. Pulling back, let it pull back and see if we can set up for upside. But again, has a lot of headwinds up here, okay? Now, Coinbase working is higher. We do see BTC. I will cover BTC and Ethereum at the end. But again, I think this is a play with BTC. It looks promising right now, bouncing off zero. This is exactly what we like, coming off the zero bounce. If this can start turning, bounce off 50, take out that 321, it's probably going to go higher. Now, this is a BTC play. Where can it go? It's probably going to go to this 336, okay? So that's something we're going to be looking at. All right, so let's get going. Now we're getting into the chips. There's a lot to cover here. All right, INTU sold off pre-market pretty hard. Okay, so this is something, hit 697. This is something that's, again, pre-market sold off. I don't know what the news is yet. Let's see if it holds at 663. And is it going to come back to the 50? There's a blue arrow. Watch it at 681. If it comes back to 681 and starts turning down and MACDs, it looks like this swing is over. So let's see what happens here if it's going to start swinging back higher. But again, it's in a holding pattern, right? It's in a holding pattern. Okay, Qualcomm sold off as well. But again, let's see if it can regain that 50 or 183. Had a nice move yesterday from 177 to 185. But again, we're below the zero. Is it going to sell off there, bounce off zero, and down? Now, if it goes back down, it's probably going to go back down to this level 180, and then it has 175. All right, so again, just watch what the market is giving you. Watch it because things can change in the next 30 minutes. ASML holding strong, and I think the news on LRCX is really going to move the chips. Let's see what happens. They're in a conference. I think the conference ends at 10 o'clock or 11. So we're watching for what the news comes out of that conference on the chips. But ASML coming back into play. We see buyers coming in. AMD looks much stronger, rallied, but again, this could be a play for 2 days. So I like AMD. AMD looks good. This is perfect. This is exactly what we like. So 161, if it does zero, if it can bounce zero, give me this is a fresh set of MACDs. Buyers start coming in at 161. This could be a play. If it can take out 163, it's probably going to go higher. It's probably going to go higher. So this might be one that I'm going to be watching on the list for up. Okay, AMAT right there looks good, right? This is exactly what we like to see. 50-day moving average right there at 150. If the MACDs can start turning around, give me a little momentum play, then if it takes out that 152, it is going to go. What's on the upside? It's got, all right, 153, it got 156, and then it's got 159. So again, you have a couple of points there that you can trade if this thing starts turning. All right, Lucid, this was the play yesterday that I said, look, it looked good pre-market, MACDs look good. So with like Rivian. So today, different story. Can it continue higher? So Rivian Lucid, you know, pull back a little bit. Is it going to continue higher? I don't know. So let's see what happens. If it can regain that 50, that pre-market highs of 54, 55, then MACDs can start turning, then more than likely we're going to see Rivian go higher. Now it needs 55 to really get it going. And if it does, then I think we have these highs up here, $57. So yeah, maybe a couple of points there. Let's see if Lucid can get it going again. Okay, Rivian, there was news about that they were going to launch the Amazon trucks, that they were ready to launch, and that was very positive news for Rivian. So can it go higher? But it quickly sold off at that 122. Needs to regain, needs to take out that 122 headwind. Right. So if it can take that out, it's got 125 to really get it going. And I say that because then it's got 141 on top. Is it going to get there? Don't know, but it looks like it's going to try today. Let's see if the MACDs can get it going, but that 122 is going to be pretty hard today. Roblox holding strong, not selling, not being bought, looks ready. Right, Roblox is a metaverse play with Nvidia. Looks ready, looks right there. Let's see if it can go either way. But considering that they've been buying into it, what's going to get it going? 130, 131, and what does it have on top? It's got this number up here of 141. So we're going to watch Roblox, see if it can work higher. Okay, that's as far as the chips. This is it. All right, let's dive into. We see AMD starting to work, and we see again. So a lot of things can change. So you got to pay attention. Now, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin is trying to rally. We've been calling the top. I say don't buy. You know, I say I can't tell you what to do, but I said Bitcoin is coming down below the 50. Now, again, MACDs are coming down again. This is the momentum indicators telling me that weakness is occurring, but it looks like it could be coming to the end. So we see Bitcoin coming down, bounced beautifully off this level here that I told you at 53,000. Buyers came in, and now. Okay, we're getting close. Is this going to be a new wave for Bitcoin? Possibly, maybe, but it's got to take out some headwinds on top. So we got 60,000, got to take that 50-day, let's say 61,000. If it can take out 61,000, Bitcoin is probably going to start rallying. The next level up on Bitcoin is probably going to be 68. If it can take that out, then we're on our way to that target of 100 that everybody on Twitter, everybody's talking about. But not until then is that going to happen. Now, anything can happen here. We got to see there's some levels here that we have to take out first. So let's see if it happens. Let's see if it happens. I don't know. I'm just looking at the price action and seeing if it happens. All right, MicroStrategy follows Bitcoin. So we see a pump in MicroStrategy, see if it can go higher. If Bitcoin starts breaking up 61, this might be an investment if you want to trade MicroStrategy, because they own a lot of Bitcoin and he just bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. So it helps on MicroStrategy. It trades with Bitcoin. So it's MSTR, it's a ticker symbol. Ethereum looking good. All right. So this Ethereum is a play. So here we are. Ethereum, I'll be adding more positions on Ethereum. This is what I like. Bouncing off the 50-day moving average, and the MACD is bouncing. So this is fresh set of MACDs. Momentum is going into from bearish into bullish. So we're seeing that transition. Now, what are we going to be looking on top? We're going to be looking at 48.72. If it breaks that, it's really going to go. It's going to go. All right, that's all I got, but watch for the MACDs to see a weakness. So again, how you'll know, if we get to that 48 and the MACD starts turning, that means that that swing is losing weakness. Real simple. If you want to know more about that momentum swing, there is a video that I did, how to avoid buying tops. It's in the playlist. Look for it. It's a picture with a doggy, really cute. And while you're down there, do me a favor, press that like button, press that share button. And remember, abundance breeds abundance. We'll be doing these live every day from 8:30 to 9. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I want you guys to succeed. I want you to be profitable. And most importantly, stay green. Remember, stay green. Green is the name of the game. No FOMO buying here. We like to look at the price action. Remember, people like, price doesn't, and that's how we play. Now, I will be going live on TradingView for the follow-up just for this week. I'll put the subscription in the link, and there we go. If you want to look for me, this is my TradingView account. Let me see if I can, whoops, not there. Anyway, this is my TradingView. I'll be there, and it'll be in the stream sections, and it'll be right in here. All right, guys. That's all we got. Go out there, go get it, stay green. And all right, I'll see you on the next, I'll see you tomorrow or at lunchtime. All right, take care. Bye-bye.